Hi, Rene. Hi, Monisha.
Hello.
Pleasure seeing you again. And, we are catching up for the first time, Rene. Great to know more about the country you come from. And interesting that it's very similar to Singapore. I think you should definitely plan something out there, Monisha. And yeah, I mean, this call is just to know more about your organization, more about you as an entity, and then we'll talk more about the sports and Neuro Association with Monisha Izaara, and that particular angle. So, if I can open it up, Rennie, to our audience, if you can just brief us a little bit about your organization.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Rene Gomez. I'm from Panama, born and raised. I study in the U.S. for almost 7 years. I did my undergrad in Texas, and later I moved to master's degree in Chicago. Then I came back, actually, to a family business that was mainly on the diving activities, and then we together pursued commercial diving activities that were part of the company, but we created the division where we um, implemented audits into our organization by the international Ajax associations like Bureau Veritas, ABS, Lloyd's, TMB. So they audit every 3 years our company for commercial diving in water survey. So we performed those jobs here in Panama,
Nice.
uh, at both sides of the Panama Canal, and as well we also have a ship repair department and the same company that pretty much works into the afloat repairs on those vessels that they are waiting for transit the Panama Canal. So the reason I travel to Singapore actually is to meet the ship owners and fleet managers, their technical departments, to see their needs and if they have vessels transiting or calling Panama, we can attend them and help them out with any needs.
Super, man. And just for the audience, uh, to know a little bit more about Panama Canal, I think it distinguishes North America and South America, right? It's the canal which kind of splits the two countries, the two geographies rather. And it's interesting how that happens: Atlantic Ocean and I think Pacific Ocean. For those people interested in geography can know more about Panama Canal. And I think it's very interesting theme, Rennie, you mentioned about commercial diving. A lot of people will be excited because I think in this part of the world as well, I think diving is a passion. You talk about Australia, you talk about Indonesia, especially I think Bali and all. A lot of people do go about, even in Thailand, deep sea diving, etc. But maybe for personal, not for commercial. How is it different than personal? People go for diving, etc. Tell us a little bit more about what is commercial diving for the audience.
Yes, first of all, I want to start with the geography section. We are in the continent of America. So we are pretty much a small country in the whole America. And then we call it, it's called Central America.
Yeah,
So actually, Panama kind of unites the South and the North.
yeah, yeah.
And then in that small country that Panama it is, we have a canal that connects the Atlantic side with the Pacific side. We call it Cristobal, the Atlantic side, and Balboa, the Pacific side. And then you have a lake in between where the vessels come, could be come north to south or south
Mhm.
to north, and then they transit the lake in between, and they get to the other side. Actually, it's pretty neat because you can be on the Atlantic side, just visiting, diving, recreational for tourism, and then you can take a car, jump into the highway, and in 45 minutes you are in the Pacific side. And then you can be diving or having fun or breakfast or lunch pretty quickly, and it's very unique because there is no other place in the world that you can dive two oceans in one day, because it's super easy to move from one side to the other. And then for tourism and super checklist, I will say you can dive two oceans and the Panama Canal in one day as well. So it's pretty intense because you have to drive a lot and then dive pretty quick, but you can do it. Obviously, that's I would say the fun part and the nice part of diving. But when you go to the commercial diving, it's also fun, but you don't have that better, but good visibility, and that just you enjoying your time and just relax. And in the commercial diving, actually, you have good regulations, better regulations that you have to follow. You have a team of people that take care of you once you're underwater, and you have certain procedures. But it's I would say um, a well-paid job, and that has to be is following the safety protocols, international safety protocols,
Mm-hmm.
and it is requested mainly for the good performance of the vessel. So I would say if they need to save fuel, they do a constant monthly maintenance on the hull, and if they want to go faster, if they want to reduce the carbon footprint, they
Mm-hmm.
also do the maintenance of the vessel. Also, if they want to check if they have any fishing lines or any rope tangle into the propeller, and also many other valve repairs or renewals, they have to send diver over to do the sealing or blanking of the valve or the intake of the water or outtake, and then they do the renewal. So actually, divers are pretty much required,
Okay.
not just in Panama but globally. So it's
Globally.
a yes, it's a interested line of work, I would say.
I think uh, any of the divers in the community, Monisha, I think should be watching uh, this video later
Absolutely.
on. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is sounds interesting, Rennie. And
it is.
frankly, I'm not anywhere associated with diving. Um, I'm actually quite scared of looking at those aspects, but it definitely excites me. I think I've been a part of a lot of friends, and especially British friends, and they are great divers. They love diving. Australian guys, they love diving. So I do hear the complexity, the intensity. Plus, it's a lot more fun out
Hmm.
there.
Can I
And
can I ask a
please,
question? Rennie, in context to diving, to commercial diving, what are you looking for when you attached yourself, when you decided to become a part of uh, the Izaara tournament and move into this part of Asia, Singapore, and all of that? So what are you looking at, given that diving, the commercial diving that you're doing, the hull cleanings and the propeller inspections and stuff, it's all happening on your side of the continent. So what are you looking for in Singapore and your connection to all of that?
Yes, pretty much the technical department and people that will be requesting the job in Panama. They have a face, or they can connect a face on an email or a phone call or a WhatsApp
Uh-huh.
with a person that travels to Singapore. Actually, spend the time at their office. It will be 20 minutes or tops 30, pretty quick. But at least they can feel and sense the person or the company behind
Mm,
before they can give the huge responsibility to a
mm,
company that and their vessel and do the I would say the proper job. Is maybe they have other company that already are working with, but just presenting another option in
option.
Panama, so they can have multiple options, and maybe in the future they can um, they can have any emergency or needs or fast
Absolutely.
response. Yes, we can help them out in that. And the reason also that, and I don't know if I'm moving forward on the
No,
question,
no, no,
is
go
that
on, go on.
I like the sporting events because in Panama, we also host sporting events on the Maritime Chamber of Shipping.
Right.
Because since you are in the maritime sector and you have a lot of stress, a lot of things going on, you
Yeah,
need to, I will say, have space
yeah,
to relax, to meet your friends outside of the office, and also meet some other people that you have been talking to them daily, but you haven't put a face on it.
Right.
right,
And you can also bring your family to these events, and then can meet your colleagues' family, and it becomes, I will say, a family opportunity to get out and also feel what is the person in the maritime business interacts with others.
mm.
So that's
Having
the reason I decided
to move
to
into
join,
Singapore.
help.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, because ships move across the world. So I guess it's a very it's nice, and it's nice to know that there is somebody out there who provides this service, and somebody who's been in this work for a long time, right? You said your family's been in this business for a while.
Yes, my dad started 50 years ago.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh
Wow.
wow, that's a long time. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so I have
Yes,
another question. Sorry, I have another question. You also do ship repairs, right? Because
yes,
we've been talking about it, the ship repairs. Can you enlighten us a little bit on that?
yes. As you could have seen on the event,
Mm,
we sponsor companies. One is Chip Repair, and the other one is Commercial Diving Panama.
right,
And
right.
then the reason that we did a different branding on the Chip Repair is because a lot of owners and managers, they have only seen um, diving. So they
Ah,
thought like we were only a diving company. So
right,
we have engineers for ship repairs, and also welders for just on deck. They don't have to be underwater. We also have underwater, but we have also people that can do repairs and welding on deck.
right,
So it's an activity that complement each other, and also is
mm,
also a different line of activity and different personnel, and it's a department that we wanted to also push forward, and
right,
then they can get related to the brand as well. So
right.
that's the reason that we created a branding for chip repair department.
So have you been in ship repairs for a long time, just the way your family's been in the commercial diving aspect? 50 years, you said. So has ship repairs also been that long?
No, I will say that it will be around 10 years. And
Okay,
we have people on the engineers that have been working on the shipyard here in Panama for more than 20 years. So
okay.
they have experience, and they
Mm,
can obviously assess on the request of the technical department, and provide a solution, a quotation, or any drawing required to obviously eh, give the technical department a sense that they have the experience before they go and do the. So yes,
interesting.
we have
Very
experienced people, and being in that department or that line over 10 years, and experienced people over the 20 years.
super, super. So any company, basically, yes. If we, this is a service, I guess, because ships are plying all over the world. So it's very nice to know that there is a reliable provider on that side of America.
Yes, and then they have been audited as well by Bureau Veritas, the welders. So it's not that I'm saying it, so it's already approved by a classification society.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. Over to you, Sanket. Sorry, I was asking very technical questions. Sorry, over to
No,
you.
I think that's good for the community. I think from maritime industry, these are very useful questions, Monisha.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so yes, Rene, as Monisha is saying, I think Singapore is the gateway to the east, and we
totally.
hope that we hope that with this association with Izaara and coming to Singapore, looking at this particular whole market, I think there cannot be a better association than you have with Monisha and Izaara and Abe
And Orders Maritime. Orders Maritime.
and Maritime. I
We are
think uh,
partners, we commercial partners for them.
strongly feel that if there's any industry which is global, I think the first is the shipping industry, because the ships are moving all around the world 24/7, 365 days. Whole supply chain, logistics, oil, etc., whatever we name it, it's all dependent on this particular industry. So kudos to you. I think fantastic work. It's a great family business. You're living that legacy. I'm sure you'll continue doing fantastic over the years with your door opening up in Singapore and Asia. We wish you all the best on that front, business front especially. Come back to the sports again. I think I won't take much of your time. Thanks again for it's little bit delayed, but it's fantastic talking to you. So let's just spend another 10 minutes. Tell us little bit more about how do you know Monisha? How do you know Abe? What's your connection with Izaara? And why? You just mentioned about you do sponsor and you are a part of a lot of sports events back in Panama. There can't be any better opportunity than Singapore. Coming back to sports and mingling around with the community, telling them more about what you do as an entity, etc. But from sports perspective, give us a view of your understanding of cricket, Izaara Cup, and then how do you relate with it? What's the purpose and brains behind it?
Yes, my understanding of cricket, I have a little bit of understanding. I have seen it, obviously. I have done research, but I had never played cricket. I found it super interesting. I have played football, American football,
Yeah,
baseball, basketball, many other tennis as well. But I feel that actually you don't need to sponsor an event. You don't need to be a good player there, or you have to maybe have experience in that game. Is what it brings to the table, and I will say that for me, it fulfills me. If I will say I see people enjoying their moment, their time with the family, with their colleagues, and that's pretty much everything about it. Yeah, I also participate in bowling events here in Panama that we host as a maritime chamber. I'm
wonderful.
not I'm not really good at it, but I see that a lot of people enjoy it,
Enjoy it. Yeah.
and that's why we keep going with it.
I think
Yes, maybe.
sportsmanship, that's the sportsmanship. And there's a hidden talent inside you, which I think is saying go out and play. As you said, baseball is something you relate with. A lot of people say who don't know cricket, this cricket is an elongated version of baseball where you have a bat and a ball. You just have to connect the two and go for the runs. But of course, there's a lot more regulations behind it. It's longer format. It's under the sun. It can be really taxing, but it's a lot of fun. I think we are looking forward to great amount of fun over the weekend, Rene, and we are expecting a huge crowd. 16 teams in Izaara, over
Yeah.
400 people easily will be coming down, enjoying the game, knowing more about you as an organization, chit-chatting about what can we do together. So it's not just a cricket event; it's also a community event, and largely driven by the shipping industry. So we really hope that this collaboration of Izaara and your organization is gonna go a long way and
You're
fulfilling
breaking off. You're
both.
breaking off. Sanket, you're breaking off. Sorry, we missed you.
You can hear me? I think it seems to be your connection, Monisha, perhaps.
Yes, on my side, I perfectly got the message, and
Yeah,
as I told Monisha in my visit in Singapore, sometimes after the event or during the event, you feel so tired of
yeah,
planning and pulling the referees' equipment together and the uniforms. But at the end, when you are enjoying and you see people enjoying the event, everything just set aside, and then you just enjoy the moment. And then after that, you want to continue. After the event, you want to continue because you have seen the people face. So
absolutely.
yes, a lot of stress involving creating an event because I have been there, but it's always fulfilling you during and after the event. So yes, I also want to congratulate you guys, because I know the feeling, and how I know how it is, and
Yeah.
a lot of months and days, and then you want everything to be perfect. So
Yeah.
it is.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thanks, Rene. I think this is really encouraging coming from you. I think you really bring a different dimension into Izaara completely. You're so cool-headed. You are so much connected to the industry, coming from Panama, right at the other part of the world. Uh, we again thank you from Izaara side, making sure that you have really good success in Panama and in Singapore and in the Asia Pacific. We'll do whatever we can. You,
Absolutely.
all right.
And we look forward to having you with us next year, Rene. I
Yes.
Yes,
think
yes, sure.
we plan it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. It will be planned well in advance so that you make your trip into Singapore at that time and you're with us. And maybe we'll teach him a little cricket, right, Sanket?
Yes, sir. I was telling Monisha that we should actually have a 5 over game, maybe even a 3 over, but just have sponsors come together. Some of the non-playing, not cricket playing guys come together and have fun.
Why
That's
not?
exciting. During the break hours, 15-20 minutes, just go around, open up yourself. It'll be really interesting because we will want you guys on the field. I understand it's your commitments, business commitments,
Absolutely.
travel,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
Izaara
Enjoy
is 13th year, Monisha, right? 12th or 13th?
13th year.
13th.
Yeah.
So there are many
I,
more years to go, and we will want you
Yes.
in all those years.
I
Totally,
take,
totally,
I'm
totally.
ready to
Yes.
take I'm ready to take the challenge.
Absolutely, Rene.
Oh,
Yes. I'm sure you'd be
learn
pretty flexible. You're a
things.
football player. You'd definitely be a formidable challenge on that field.
Thanks, Rennie. Again, have a great evening ahead.